All right, let's get into it. Week 11. We are round and third on our way to home plate. Home plate in this case being a holiday break. So we begin this week with our final major project. We've only got a couple of small ones and one big one to go, and even the big one is sort of a small one. The collaborative essay is the most, I would say, even though things can't be more or less unique than anything else because unique means one of a kind, this is one of the more unique assignments that we'll work on this semester for a couple of different reasons. First one is it requires you to, that's right, collaborate with other people, like it or not. Another feature of this assignment is that it is sort of strictly pop culture based. You're going to be writing about movies. Now you can write about serious movies, you can write about funny movies, you can write about romantic movies, and certainly you can write about a intermingling of all those different tropes and genres. But the basis of your essay will be on films. I wanted to come up with something that we all have in common for this collaborative essay so that there weren't any, you know, cognitive or interest related gaps in what people brought to their, to the collaboration. And so I could make it about food, I could make it about shopping, or I could make it about pop culture in some way. And we all know movies to some extent. My assumption is that anyway. So I already have recorded spectacular screencasts. You're going to love them. This one's real long about the collaborative essay itself, the nuts and bolts of it, the expectations behind it, and then a much shorter one that's equally fantastic about the presentation that will accompany your collaborative essay. That maybe would be the third interesting or unique component of this assignment, is that you are going to create an online video standalone, play alone 10-minute presentation that encapsulates, or maybe captures is a better word. It captures the essence of what you've done in your groups. So you've got those assignments or those screencasts to watch. So this is a little more technical in nature. So what you need to do by this date here, all right, is to get yourself on a team. All right, I've got this spreadsheet up somewhere. There it is. All right, so lots to say about this. Let me see if I can move this a little bit over. All right, how about that? All right, so you see here, team, you're going to figure out who is going to be on your team. Okay, I can go back here. Numbers are worth considering. My experience is this essay is 8 pages in length at the minimum by the time you submit it for a grade, for a group grade, mind you. And my experience is that for a project this size, 3 to 4 people is the optimal number. If I had to choose, 4 is sort of the optimal number. 8 pages, 4 people. Everybody's more or less responsible for 2 pages worth of effort. After that, not only does the math get a little bit wonky, and as many of you have noticed with my creative Blackboard grade keeping, math is my enemy, and I must slay math in order to fulfill my destiny. So not only does math get wonky once you add 5, 6, 7 people to a project, but oh my goodness, the sort of social complications come up. The personality characteristics lend themselves to conflict or disappointment or frustration, because the people that you work with on this assignment are the people you're throwing in with for a big chunk of your final grade in this class. So I hope you're judicious, and I hope you're picky about not so much the people you choose, but about fully committing yourself to completing your portions of this assignment. I find that depending on 2 to 3 other people is a pretty manageable deal. You want to have 7 people in a group. I mean, for Pete's sake, if you want to have 8 people in a group, just send me an email and ask me for permission, and I'll probably give it to you with some very stern warnings. But for my taste, that's far too many cooks in the kitchen. If you want to just team up with one other person, if you're on your game, if your college comp game is strong, and someone else that whose college comp game is strong, you two want to work together and do sort of divvied up 4 pages apiece. I'm going to want to approve that. You have to send me an email, but I'll probably approve that as well, especially if I trust you, and I trust most of you. Okay, I don't care who's on whose team. All right, make new friends, stick with people in your mod. This question gets a little more complicated next semester because we're going to be adding new schools to our lineup or our roster of students. So when you collaborate next semester, which you absolutely will if I'm lucky enough to have you and if you're wise enough to keep working with me. It gets a little more complicated, but that's for next semester. All right, so you need to sign up for a team by 9 a.m. Thursday. I'm doing this pretty far in advance for logistical reasons, but you have your place here. Let's go. Ooh, editing in action. How exciting for you. Okay, so you're going to get your name on here. So let's say you're going to do this like Steve. I'll put my name there. Let's see, maybe Brett. Let's see, PJ, Squee. Okay, there's the 4 of us. So once you do that, if you don't want a 5th member or a 6th member on your team, you put some X's there for team members 5 and 6. And then you and your team come up with a team name, and you replace team 1 with your team name. Bros. Okay, something like that. Now, that just helps me sort of understand who's on whose teams, of course, but also your team name will be a nice shortcut for me to know who I'm working with. You don't have to come up with your team name like immediately. All right, so always, 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 there are going to be some people who decide they have better things to do between now and Thursday 9 a.m. than to type their name onto an online spreadsheet, and it's going to happen, and it's going to be unfortunate. Here's what happens to you folks who probably aren't even going to watch the screencast anyway, but please tell these people or announce this in class, even if they don't read the agenda. If you don't sign up for a team by Thursday morning, what I get to do that Thursday morning is go through my roster, find all the people who didn't sign up, and I'm going to put all of you on one team. And if there's like 10 of you, I'll put probably like 2 teams of 5 or something. This has not been a recipe for success in past iterations of this assignment. That is to say, if you don't find yourself a team to get on, the team I put you on is going to, its options for success are limited. Let's put it that way. I'll be very, I'll cage my bets here. So please just put your name on a team, find a team, make a friend, be proactive in your life. All right, and every now and again, I'll say it's a team of my choosing. If there's one person who has been out sick or something, I may ask a team to take on 1 additional member from time to time. Okay, so hopefully that's not the hard part. And let's not take high school cafeteria politics and apply them to this class at any time, please. So I hope that we can eliminate drama of any sort. So do that by Thursday the 8th. By this time, by Tuesday the 13th, you want to, of course, read the assignment and the presentation assignment, but you'll have already watched the screencast, I hope. You will need to complete reader response 3. It's our final reader response for the assignment. Tears, right? So the assignment is not a radical, like it says there, a radical departure from every other reader response that you've done, but you're going to find a movie review and you're going to evaluate that movie review. Since we're working with films this assignment, I think it's important that we become conversant in film review vocabulary. Most film reviews apply criteria to the film that it's evaluating, and it usually has a takeaway. Should you see this movie? Should you not see this movie? Just like book reviews, should you read this book? Video game reviews, should you play this game? And so I want to get you to think about this right here. Just like any other reader response assignment, very briefly summarize the review, and for Pete's sake, not the movie. But how did the review go? What sorts of, I want you to kind of look under the hood of the review and try to understand the mechanisms involved. Okay, so what criteria did the reviewer apply? So, usually there's something about the acting or the direction, quality of the screenplay. The story is different from a screenplay. Put story here. Story, screenplay, direction, sound effects, or special effects, excuse me, or sound effects. Production design. Did the review succeed in its goals? How did the reviewer support their assessment of the film? Just like you're doing with your research projects, you got to provide evidence in support of an evaluation or an argument. That's what I'm asking you to do with this reader response, is to think about what examples did the reviewer utilize in support of those. All right. Anyway, it's just a slight tweak. It's just a a quarter turn different than our typical reader responses. Okay, let's see. So I want you to try to cite these correctly. And so don't say like, oh, the reviewer for Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes doesn't provide reviews. They only sort of collect and collate them for the rest of us. Same with Metacritic, which is my favorite. So these are just the movie review websites that I go to. There are plenty more out there. And there's certainly YouTube channels, entire YouTube universes devoted to movie reviews. So go right ahead and use any movie review that you want. You can use an online one as long as you're able to capture the basics of it in your summary. And, as long as the reviewer is doing the things that, I don't want to say typical, I will say traditional movie reviews accomplish. Okay, so these are, like I said, Metacritic is my favorite sort of collation website. It just does it. It does it in a different way than Rotten Tomatoes. Their algorithms, I believe, are just a little different. I like Metacritic's algorithms a little more, but Rotten Tomatoes certainly can work. Movie Review Query Engine is for older movies. So if you want to find reviews of, like an older movie, that's going to be your way to go. All right, with me, feel free to take a break. We're in a home stretch here. So as a group, come up with a team name. All right, creativity is welcome. If you can't do that, then what's your spirit animal? Sometimes a group will come up with a team name, and then after they develop the theme for their film festival, they change the theme, their team name. Completely fine by me. Okay, create and share a task and deadline document, someplace where, or it can be, there's lots of ways to collaborate. I'll have more to say about that next week, but a Google Doc for now that has a list of tasks to be done and who is doing them, what are your deadlines. If you have a common document to work from in terms of what are we working on this week, who needs to get what done, when do we need to have it done by, everybody can be on the same page and in a way that doesn't require you all to be in the same room or working at the same time. That's one of the primary characteristics of collaboration these days, is that it can be asynchronous. It doesn't have to happen while you're all in the same room, which is why that, do I have it around? I have a notebook that every page says, another meeting that could have been an email. That's how, until we break those old modes of thinking about how work gets done, we will often spend time in rooms together, but we don't have to, not with, documents like Google Docs. All right. You can create a single document for your essay 5. Okay, so make your doc title your team name. Again, that just streamlines my work. One person only needs to create the document, and that person, whoever's, I don't want to say the leader of your team, but the person who's taken maybe a little bit of charge can create the document and then share it with everyone else. Make sure that your emails are correct. Email me about your potential theme, and please, everyone, this is important. Let me go big just this once. Please make sure you CC everyone on your team in that email. So I want to be able to send a blast email out to everybody on your team. I want to make sure that your emails are correct. So make sure that you type everyone's emails correctly. Make sure that you get everyone's emails. No high school emails, please. I'm not allowed to send emails to you. You're not allowed to receive them to those accounts because I'm an outside email address. So please do right by that. Your team has a discussion board post to complete. It's in Blackboard, where basically the only thing we do in Blackboard are discussion forums. You're welcome. But what's your team name? What's your festival's theme? Again, it's a snapshot kind of thing. Where is it at today? All right, it doesn't have to be the theme that you're locked into for the entire semester or all the way through the assignment. But what's it look like today as you're writing the discussion post? Okay, I have a lot to say in the intro to the assignment screencast about this. But what makes your theme complex and worthy of an academic essay? Okay, what's your rough list of movies for now? I hope other teams will read other teams' posts so that you can get maybe some ideas for what constitutes good, a quality theme. Okay, and again, when you email me on the theme, I guess I kind of skipped over this, I will definitely have some thoughts on it. I will respond as quickly as I'm able to give you my thoughts on your theme. Pretty much, is it complex enough? Does it meet my smell test? Does it pass muster? So, and then here's, a list of, I don't really have to read these to you. Presentation options, and then definitely like collaboration options. If you haven't tried VoiceThread yet, I really urge you to do so. Really, really, really nice, a software program. It's all off-site. It's very nice. I use it a lot of my professional stuff. Just other lists of online collaboration options. So I hope you enjoyed this assignment, and I hope you will email me if you have any questions, if there's any drama related to getting on a group or getting off a group. If you need my help, and if you need me to intervene in anything, please let me know.